Hello class, this is a video tutorial on calculating the missing sides of similar triangles. This is the third example for you to work with and use to guide you in solving your own problems. Here we go. So let's begin by solving the value of x. So I'm going to do that by taking x as my numerator. I'm going to place it over a value, the corresponding value in the opposite triangle, or in the corresponding triangle. Since the value of x is opposite the x angle, well, in this triangle, the x angle is opposite 6. So we'll place it as 6. Now let's take the values here. Let's take a look at 17.5. Should be equal to 17.5, and the side that's corresponding to that, well, since 17.5 is opposite the dot, in this triangle the dot is opposite y. As you can see, we actually cannot solve this as there is two pronumerals in the same equation. So let's keep going and find the last ratio, the last proportion. So we've used x, we've used 17.5, which leaves us with 12.5, and 12.5 is opposite the blank angle, so the blank angle is opposite 5. Isolating our problems, well, each of these pronumerals will take x over 6 is equal to 12.5 over 5. Cross multiplying x times 5, we get 5x. 12.5 times 6, well, 12 times 6 is 72, plus the half of 6 is 5, so 5 plus 72, sorry, 3 plus 72 is 75, which means we can solve this by dividing by 5. We get x is equal to remainder 2, 15. Let's now use this same proportion to solve for the value of y. Let's take a look. Let's just isolate these two. In the previous one, I isolated those two. X over 6 is equal to 12.5 over 5, which is what I did here. And in this one, I'm going to do the same method and isolate the value of y, like so. So we took 17.5 over y is equal to 12.5 over 5. Cross multiplying, so we get 5 times 17, that's 50, 35, 85, that should be 87.5. Did I get that right? Let me just double check that. 17.5 times 5, yep, 87.5, excellent. And then we're going to multiply 12.5 times y, which is 12.5 y. To isolate y, we're going to divide by 12.5, which gives us the value of y being 87.5 divided by 12.5 gives us 7. So once again, this method is comparing between the triangles. So we found this and we placed it over the corresponding side. In this next method, we're going to compare it within the triangle. Okay, so you don't have to do both methods. You only have to pick one which suits you. So let's take the value of x and let's put it over the value of, let's pick a number. Let's do 12.5. Okay. So we put this value over another side within the triangle. But we still need to find the corresponding side. X is opposite the x angle. So the x angle is opposite 6, so we put that as the numerator. And 12.5 is opposite the blank angle, which means the blank angle is opposite the 5. Okay, cross multiplying, we get 5x is equal to, I believe that's going to be 72 plus 3, 75. Dividing both sides by 5, we get x is equal to 15. Take note how it's very similar to the result that we get here. Okay, it's moving right along. Let's do this now. Let's use this method for this triangle here. Let's make y on the numerator. And let's put it over. Let's just put it over the value of 6. Let's just pick that one. Y is opposite the dot. So the dot is opposite 17.5. We place that on the numerator as well. And 6 is opposite x. And x, the x angle, is opposite the x side. But we already know the value of the x side. It is 15. Okay, so solving this problem, cross multiplying, we get y times 15. That's 15y. 6 times 17.5. That is taking too long. Let's just rush it. 6 times 17.5 gives us 105. Dividing both sides by 15, 105 divided by 15 gives us 7. As you can see, both methods yield the same results. So that is the conclusion of the last example. I hope that gave you a better insight into calculating the missing sides of similar triangles. Best of luck to you all.